What's up, my peeps? We are back here in the locker room. I know the locker room moved a little bit. I know that I told you guys and shared with you guys that I am redesigning my office. Trying to update my office, especially now since I let you guys peek in on it all the time. My old interior decorator and my new decorator, because I kind of blended them together. They would see it here in the locker room and be like, man, we got to redo your office. You can't keep this up. So now I'm back. I can't keep doing lives from that old office when I built that thing 20 years ago. So now I'm actually at my house. This was my original office when we first built the house, right? And this is like showed you guys right by the door. And everybody comes in, so I don't get a chance to get much work done. That's why I moved it from here. But we made this a sitting room where you can see all of my family pictures are here, right? A sitting room. And let me tell you how I came to making this a sitting room. And I got pictures, my kids' pictures everywhere. Because, I grew up, and guys, we got a lot to talk about. I want to tell you guys about the documentary, because we premiered last night. I certainly want to talk about Shadour Sanders and how he looked and compared to the other quarterbacks that were drafted way ahead of him. You know what I mean? We got so much talking about. They talk about the ratings in that preseason game because I seen so many number 12 jerseys and when they played Panthers. So that'll be interesting to talk about. But let me finish telling you about why I am here. Like I told you, this is my original office, and I am changing my office. And it all came about this. Like when I grew up, where I was, my mom and dad had pictures all up the family everywhere. You walking down the hall to the bathroom, you see all your brothers, sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews, you knew everybody, every picture, every graduation picture. Now, in most houses, we don't have that, because all of our pictures are now taken on these phones and stored on these phones, but they're stored away, not a constant reminder of what's important like it used to be. So we decided a long time ago when I moved office that we will make this the family picture room. We come in here, we sit, it's a sitting room. My wife will come in here sometimes and we'll have some tea and just look and reminisce on all the pictures and, where we were and what it was like then. And, just, yeah. Yeah, I miss that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So looking at the history. So I'll be here for a couple of weeks while they're redesigning, and I'll show you guys the new design. I really like what they saw. It's best. Trust me, guys, if you can. And now they got apps that can help you. It's always best to get somebody that's what they do, like a decorator. Like I thought I had ideas, and I told her, and then I said, just tell me what you think. And then I said, please. All the ideas I had, stuff them in this garbage can real fast and just do what you do. You know what I mean? Let people do what they do, and she's doing a great job. So I'm excited about it. Man, what's up, everybody over there? I told you I want to get to you guys because I want to talk to you now. We're going to do some talking. We got to talk about Shadour and everything that everybody's talking about out here, about how he played and what happened. I even saw something on social media where one guy where they had the locker room speech afterwards of Coach Stefanski, coach him out there, and not one time did they say great job by the young quarterback. He was giving love to everybody else, but could have said great job by the young quarterback. We put you in a tough position, didn't give you many reps, but you played, and that's what playing this game is all about. When everybody was arguing and complaining and saying, well, they're going to set him up for failure. No. The great athlete don't see failure. He just sees opportunity. Shadour Sanders saw opportunity, took advantage of it, and that's what I love. Yeah, thanks for that, man. Hey, man, thanks for that. Talking about this, talking about my room here. Say that's awesome, Irv. take care of your family. Yeah. And I'm saying I come sit in here, remind myself why I'm working all the time. This what you so think about it. How hard everybody works. We all work hard, right? And we come home now, and I used to walk down. You saw pictures of why you're working so hard. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. This room makes it make sense for me. You know what I mean? They say, all right, get your butt up. Let's go get it. It ain't just about you. It's about the ones that are that small right there. It's that tiny, small that's going to grow up. So, I tell my babies now, my old grown kids, I say, listen, man, if I give y'all money, that's spending. Now, when I spend money on your grandbabies, on my grandbabies, on your kids, that's investing. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all should be where y'all going, Doc. So what I'm giving it to you, I'm just spending. But when I give it to Isla, Carmen, and Brooklyn, that's investing. You know what I mean? We got to make sure we're investing, not just spending. That's how you keep the family right. I'm praying for all of you guys' family, and I ask that you pray for my family. And speaking of family, I want to tell you a little bit about the premiere that I attended last night of the documentary. I'll share with you some things that I can share with you to kind of get your taste buds ready, because I know that thing drops, I think, next Tuesday, a week from today. And when it dropped, because I think, it's so funny we're talking about this, that now how different it is. I would be usually saying, man, if thing come out Tuesday, then we're going to talk about it Tuesday. And then we'll wait next Tuesday for the second episode, then we'll talk about it that Tuesday. Then we're going to wait next Tuesday for the next episode, and then we're going to talk about it that Tuesday. I think it lines up perfectly. They dropped 8 episodes. They're going to drop 8 episodes. My understanding, 8, 88, 8, 88. You can already tell. Because they called me and they sent me the documentary. They said, we want you to look at the documentary. So I said, must mean I'm going to be the bad guy, which sure I'm going to be the bad guy. If Jerry is going to have final say, he's not going to make himself a bad guy. Emmett and Troy just ain't got no bad, you know what I'm saying? So I was messing with Emmett last night. I said, I understand. I'm going to be the bad guy in this, right? He said, well, you kind of was the bad guy, Michael. Hey, so what happened? We were laughing about that, man. Oh God, we laughed so hard about that. It was crazy. That's funny stuff, man. All right. Because, I'm like, man, past all that stuff now. I'm older, I want to be the bad guy. You were the bad guy. You gotta live this through now and just deal with it and let it go. Because okay, even that he was saying to me, he said, "Man, they're talking about like you did things." Well, I'll let it play out. I better let it play out. I better not tell you too much, because that's what happens. I get in the locker room and I start talking too much. I get diarrhea in here. And I'm just talking and talking and talking because, you think it's a locker room. Well, it's my locker room. And that's what you do in locker rooms when you're in a locker room. We talk real talk. But listen, a little bit about documentary, a little bit I can give you. In the premiere, what they did, they showed us because 8 episodes, they certainly weren't going to do it all day. Show it all 8 hours, however long it is. They showed us bits of episode 1, a little bit of episode 2, and then the full episode 3. And episode 3, I hope I'm not giving away too much, we'll focus on the 49ers rivalry. I'm telling you, it's a gripping episode. It's a gripping episode. But all of it is it's gripping because I think the journey is what matters. I always say to people, and you guys heard me say it, I measure men in distance travel. The beauty of this documentary is you will be able to see the distance that all men travel. You will see what Troy had to go through to be Troy. And it's never easy to become anything, especially if you're trying to become that best thing that's down in you. So you'll see the journey of Emmett becoming Emmett and Dion and Jerry and Coach Johnson and how all of those things happen and all of them work together. Um, there's so many things that I learned in it, even about Jerry that blows my mind. It blew, oh my God. When you talk about what Jerry Jones has done in the NFL and with the NFL. And then there's something that goes on in this documentary that shows you, well, I'm just tease a little bit. When you see what Jerry has done in the NFL, and then they go back to the University of Arkansas and they get his college thesis. I didn't know this. Jerry Jones' college thesis will come into play here. That's all I will say. That blew my mind. I'm telling you guys. So, I don't know if I can even say, I'll take questions or hear you guys on that, because I don't know if I can even answer those things that you're going to ask. But I promise you, what we're going to do is when they drop that thing next Tuesday, and look at that, look how great that is. I'm usually here. Oh my God, we usually start around 8 o'clock Eastern Tuesday nights to do a live. We started doing this, before they were doing that, and certainly didn't know what time and when they were going to drop it. But they're dropping it Tuesday. It has. We went about 8 Eastern live, 7 Central. 8, so that 8 is in there. That 8 is in the 8 Eastern. That 8 is in the 88. They're dropping about 8 episodes. And most of the promos you've seen, 88, you've seen me. So I know. Yeah, that's to be a bad point in it all. But it should be interesting. And remember, I'm telling you, it's all about the journey. And you'll see it. You'll see the start of it. Oh my God. And that's what makes it so great. That it started where it started. And we all had to grow it to where we grew it. And every fan out there took that ride with us. You know why? Because it was coming off a great deal of pain. I was in the documentary thinking, oh my God. Jerry talked about this. He won his championship at 64. It was 30 years later, 64, and then he was getting one in 92. 64 to 92. You know me, I'm a spiritual man. I'm looking for any spiritual coming my way. 64 and 92, almost 30 years. Jerry had won the championship in 64. Then got a Super Bowl in 92. I said, that's almost 30 years and this thing's coming out. Coincidentally, we've been almost 30 years. It's about time to get something happen again around here. You know what I'm saying? So, get out the documentary right now, Michael. I'm going to get out because I know. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all going to love it because it's just a ride. We were coming off hard times, tough times, and the San Francisco 49ers dominating. And we had been tired of it. And it was the end for one of the greatest of all time in Tom Landry. And then the rise start again. And so I'm saying our thirst for a championship made that ride and that rise so great. Our thirst now is for a championship. It will make this rise and ride so great if we can pull it together. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I get out of that. I'm still on the hunt for that, right? for that white Hurricane jersey, number 47. I got you, baby. Hey, they out there. They out there now. Miami better do something too now, because this is, man, let me say this too. We are almost about to get some real football here. August 31st, I'm going to be in Miami for that game. We're 23 days away from Eagles versus Cowboys. This thing is here. I know the word is here. Well, here sound like something, the thing, and it really is here. And that's why when we go August 19th, or when they drop that thing next Tuesday, we're going to be, our palates, our taste buds are going to be so ready for football that we're going to drop that first episode that Tuesday, and every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, same time, we're going to discuss right here that episode that they drop. We're going to discuss an episode. Tuesday, we'll discuss episode number 1. Wednesday, we'll go episode number 2. Thursday, we'll go episode number 3. Because we'll break down and get down on what went on behind the scenes, what you saw, what didn't they say, what did you want to hear about. You can get to ask me, how did this really go down? How did we get to this point? So be ready to tune in and share. Share where were you? I always tell people, this is what makes those things great, these kind of things great, because we remember where we were, because it was such a great emotional moment in our life. Oh man, I remember I was going through this and we won the Super Bowl. I remember this. So I want to share those things. Share with me where you were when we won that Super Bowl, how you felt, what it did for you, all of those things. I had just moved to another city. I was a Dallas Cowboy fan, and they were always messing with me. And when we won, I said, no, whatever happened, something happened that you mark those moments by. I guarantee you. Let's talk about them. And speaking of marking those moments, I'm going to let that go right there for that moment of the documentary piece. But we got a lot of sharing to do, talking about that each week. Because telling you, man, I get people all the time walking around. My God, remember where we were, man. Super Bowl 27, boy. Then I came back. When y'all got back, I was right at the airport. I saw you get off the plane. I mean, like, dude, how you remember what I had on, dude? I don't even remember what I had on, But we marked those great moments. And since we hadn't experienced them in 30 years, we're going to experience this now and hopefully prepare our souls for another ride like this. That's what we're hoping to do, to hopefully prepare our soul for another ride like this, huh? Yeah, DFW side was at the White House. Which White House? He went to see the president. You go, okay, we'll let that go. Hey, okay, I can take that. I still believe we're going to beat them Eagles. Let's go. I do too. I'm holding on to that too. But what we saw this first preseason game has to be so far away from what this thing shows up like in week 1. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of work to do. And the only thing is, like, Dallas still having problems with the run game. That's one thing. And that's what I worry when you get to Philadelphia. If I'm not worried about Philadelphia killing us in the passing game, because if we can make Philly come in and say, oh, well, we watched them all preseason game. They got a weak secondary. Let's throw the ball and not run it. Then we win. I'm with that. I think Jalen Hurts is a top quarterback in the National Football League. But if you take away the base, which is the run, and make him turn into a pure passer, well, you got a great opportunity and a great chance to win that football game. So I believe there's going to be an opportunity too. And that's the only good part I thought about coming out of the preseason game. I said, we keep getting bombed like this, maybe Philly will get a bad idea and say, let's go bomb them. Everybody's been bombing them. And if that's the case, we'll tap that tail if you do that. Speaking of tapping that tail, it's time to talk about Shadour Sanders and how he tapped that tail of every doubter, all haters, and spectators that didn't like the man because of the way he plays the game, or you perpetuated your biases on him. Oh, he's so flashy with the watch thing. He's cocky. He's overconfident. He can't run. He can't run like that. That's the part that tripped me out. I wish people would listen to themselves. They talk out of both sides of their mouths like it's nothing. Like, you said yourself, nobody runs like his dad. And then you will put down in your assessment, Shadour Sanders does not run like his dad. I said, no damn body does. He doesn't. Nobody does. DL still one of the fastest dudes that ever got clocked at the combine. He's legendary for having on his suit, running the 40 barefooted right out the stadium. And then we come and put things like, well, Shadour doesn't run like his dad. Like that's a negative. Instead of saying, well, nobody runs like Shadour's dad. We can't expect that. You see what I'm saying? Just me. But to what I saw in the game, the things that I watched for in the game, here is what I'm talking about. And we talked about this. We talked about arm strength, running, and all of these things. That's great, but it's not the primary thing you need for greatness. Tom Brady didn't have it. A lot of quarterbacks doesn't have it. You have to have a real relationship with pressure. And this kid has grown up under pressure. And this kid just handled some pressure situations that could have really destroyed his confidence and broke him down. And I'm coming back to how I started this. You get to see this man now. You get to measure this man in his distance travel. Look how he's handled the disappointment of the draft. And in that short time, turned around and turned it into something positive, like that performance. No reps with the first team, not a lot of reps with the guys he's playing with, but he was cool. And if that's what he looks like with very minimal reps, work with this group, I mean, that means that was his bottom floor. Then what do you think his top ceiling is? And if Cleveland didn't get back in the meeting room and say to themselves, we got to take the shackles and chains off him, and we got to let him go. We got to make this kid right now our guy and find out if that was his floor. How close can we get him to the ceiling? How far can we float him up before we start this game, this season for real? I'll have Shadour playing second, third, and fourth preseason game. And then I'm going to make a decision on who's going to play. I don't care if I still go with Joe Flacco. Any chance I see Joe Flacco struggle, I'm putting in Shadour. I'm putting, because I got to find out what I'm doing with these draft picks. And I saw also Deshaun Watson, and he looks like he was running and getting real healthy. I need to find out things right now before he comes back and his money forces my decisions. You get what I'm saying? I have to find out and get as many reps with Shadour. I already know what the hell Flacco is, and he ain't going to be here for long. Your focus now has to be on what you got in, and can you use Hey, I'm on the phone. I'm gonna call you. Can you use those draft picks to get other players because you already have your quarterback? This is all Cleveland should be dealing with right now, off of what they saw. Come on, and so I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna give a few minutes. Let me hear what you guys say about it. What you guys think about Shadour Sanders. I'm gonna strictly just listen to you guys. So you guys put all the comments up and let's talk about strictly what you guys said. The young brother is getting it done. Period. God bless the Sanders family. Yeah, John Farrell, I appreciate that, man. And he is getting it done. But the story is watching him get it done, but it's also gleaming from it. There are many people out there that's doubting you guys a lot of things and down a lot of us in our lives. Look how he's handling it and going about it. I just like that. I like to pull that kind of stuff out of it and say, look at this and use that as some kind of inspiration and motivation for myself and for me to get better. Yeah. DG5 can't see over his line after the snap. Yeah. He's saying, I guess that's Dylan Gabriel. So he can't see over his line after the snap. And that those are some of the things that were said about Dylan. But well, I'm real careful with this. I understand, and you notice I had been pulling on these young guys because I'll hit Kenny Pickett, but I don't want to limit Dylan Gabriel. I don't know what he can be. The scout, you get the scouting report, things and you hear things and you see how he plays. But he's a young man now, and I got to wait till he show me on this level. And that's not about what I saw on that level. I need to see it on this level. So I'm usually careful about talking about the young dude when comparing. But I ain't got no problem talking about them old dudes because we've been talking about them for a while. You see, the Flaccos and the Pickett's and all of that stuff. I know right now you're not going to be here forever. So I will set them right in that category, and I need to see what Shadour Sanders have after that first one. That's what I'm saying. Who's this? Damn Diggy Dog, huh? WS going to have top selling jersey. Sell out of the play. Shout out to the playmaker. You're right, dude. He is going to have top selling jersey. And this is what I saw too, since you brought that up. Let me tell you something. When I looked at that game, I saw in Carolina, I don't want to say I saw a lot of Cleveland Browns fans. I saw a lot of 12 jerseys. I saw a lot of 12 jerseys. It was, almost every Cleveland Brown jersey I saw in the stadium was 12. And now you see when they said how many, whatever he sold in jerseys, number one jersey sale, and report came out about how much money he made from jersey sales because of his prime clause and all of those things. You saw that in the stadium. And I was looking at it. I told you guys I bet those ratings were going to be through the roof. And the ratings did come in, and it was one of the highest, certainly the highest rated preseason game on the NFL Network so far. But I asked about the highest rated preseason game. And the highest rated preseason game was actually a game between Tennessee and Pittsburgh. Can you believe that? Was it 2019? 2019. But now let me give you the particulars because I told you, I guarantee I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it was that. Because I told you before how it used to be. That first game, you play a series. The second game, you play a quarter. That third game in the NFL, everybody played the whole half. And then we would come out the second half of the first series just so we can get prepared to go through halftime. Then the fourth game, nobody played. So this was the third game of the season. Ben Roethlisberger, everybody played, many other starters. And the Titans and Steelers, they've always been a big rivalry. So that was the most watched preseason game, about 6 million viewers. And that was, when we did it the old-fashioned way. So I understand that. This new way, Shadour Sanders is the king of this new way. And he's the hot rookie that everybody's talking about. I looked at it and I saw other people doing this, comparing him to other rookies. And I saw a rating where they gave Cam Ward first. They had Jason Dart second, and Sanders third. And I was like, okay, I can take those ratings for all rookies in their in their rookie debut. Because of where each of those other guys got drafted. And it tells me clearly, we know what Shadour Sanders should have gotten drafted. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The way the NFL is treating Shadour, they'll take his jersey out of stores and off the website. They're hating on Shadour, and it's obvious. Let me tell y'all something about the NFL, buddy. Let me tell you something. 5'2", 5'12", Dre. Let me tell you something. And this you should take to the bank. It is principles that will not be violated when you're talking about dealing with the NFL. There are a lot of things that the NFL don't care about. And you can't touch them with a lot of things. But the one thing that you can be sure the NFL will always care about is that money, honey. And if that 12 jersey is bringing in money, honey, I don't care how much they hate you. They don't hate you more than they love money. You see what I mean? Now, if you keep buying them 12 jerseys, they would not take them off the shelf. I don't care what. You're talking about the wrong people. They were not. They're not going to leave a dime on that table, buddy. They go, hey, follow the cash. I'm with you, DFW at Trina. Something funky and something shady. We need to follow the cash. Vietnamese style, I appreciate you saying your team was magical. That journey in the documentary, yeah, it was a magical journey. Great peaks, had some valleys, but some great peaks. They can't destroy that whole thing with me with the decisions in the valleys. You know what I mean? Because now, especially, it's been 30 years. It's been 30. That's made what we did is made more special by the time that it has been absent. So, yeah, I'll go relive all the dumb decisions in the valleys just to try to relive those peaks and in hopes of inspiring our guys to reach those peaks. They asked me after we did a Q&A, Emmett, Jerry, and myself, afterwards, they asked me, they said, they asked about the pressure of the 70s Cowboys hanging over the 90s Cowboys. I said, I never saw this pressure, because I never saw us in any kind of comparison, in a comparative analysis where this team is this team is this, and this team is this. I saw us as stacking, They took it to this, and now we stack on top of it and try to take it to another level. And then the next generation stack on top of it and try to take it to another level. That's how we ensure all of our history is glorious. If everybody shows up and put up their championship on the table. So what I hope people glean from it is not no, we're the most talented team in the world, because we were not the most talented team in the world. But I will say we were one of the closest teams that ever played football. The love that we have for each other is still true to this day. There is no doubt. And that one thing right there is what I hope the Cowboys extrapolate from this documentary. Oh, man, those dudes were close, because that closeness is what carries you in tight games. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Trina, what you say? SAS has made a request for you to cut your hair. Dude, Stephen A. Smith's been saying that, man. I ain't cut my hair, man. I know Stephen. I don't understand how brothers be making requests for a brother with all his hair to cut his hair, and these brothers be having hair that start way back here, and they won't cut that little shit off their head. You know I love my brother. You know I love him. He's messed with me on the show all the time. But I'd be like, I can take you messing with me because you know I don't have any pain in that area. But if your hair has receded all the way, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't mess with him like that. I love him too much. I love him too much. And what I do know is, even though I let him, I can joke with, he can joke with me, and it doesn't bother me because I love the Joker so much. It has to bother the guys that don't have hair. This the whole reason. Yeah. This the whole reason. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, right. Right, Marlon. I'm telling you, come on, man. Just cut it off. Just cut it off. Either cut all your hair off or stop bringing up mine. That's all I'm saying. You can't do both. You can't do both. But you know what I'm saying. That's my boy, man. Y'all stop messing around. Y'all do know, guys, this is a thing for older guys. You know, they can't grow hair. So when an older guy walks in the room and he has hair, it's automatically intimidating. Yeah, Joker. Yeah, I got real hair. You know what I'm saying. We get funny with that. But I can't mess with my boy, man. I know. Hey, Joy, you know. Joy said facts, Mike. You know older guys, they funny like this right here. Why is that though? Why is that? Why our hair is almost like, it's like Popeye spinach. You know, when Popeye ain't got no spinach, he's just a regular old joker. But when he get that spinach, boy, he's a strong man. Whoop Brutus butt. You see what I'm saying? That's how man feels about hair. So, hey, ladies, don't care what y'all say. Don't let no guy fool y'all. That's how they feel about having hair. Having hair right there. That Popeye, that spinach right there. That's what that is. You got that hair on your head, boy. You walk in a place, and even women say, "Is that the real hair?" Like, yeah, that's my real hair. What you mean this is my real hair? And it's not that she's insulting me. She just believes that old men don't have hair. I said, I understand. This old man does. Stephen A. Stephen A. Smith, old man does. No, I'm just messing with y'all. Let me just stop messing with y'all. Let me stop messing with y'all, man. But dude, listen, I want you guys, I can't wait for that documentary to come out. I want you guys to enjoy it. Now, Michael, you down to earth. You got me laughing. I know, but it's because it is funny stuff, man. You're right, D. You know it's right, man. We laugh about it all the time. There's certain things guys do that trip me out. The hair thing, one of them. You shake a dude hand, what's up, dude? Give him dap, and you touch his arm right there. And automatically gotta lock that arm off. You gotta hold it tight. You got to get in flex mode. You know what I mean? Everything a man is doing is flexing. I guarantee it. Anytime. Shake his hand. You can shake as hard as you can. He's flexing, trying to show you how strong he is. You know, he's flexing. His head shows you how strong he is. That's what we do. We flex. That's what we do. So, yeah. Playmaker, your thoughts on those practices not being taken serious? I bet the Eagles all are about business. Yeah, I saw that the other day. Calvin, I saw that the other day. I saw where Coach said that he was going to give guys some time off. He's going to give guys get the first 6 segments in of practice, and we come together and take off the pads. I said, "Oh, okay. Why the hell would you do that? We just started. We just started this. What do you mean take off the pads?" And don't be looking for something to bless them with. Make them earn the blessing. It's the old adage. Come in tough and later on lighten up. You can make it. But come in soft and then later on try to toughen up. You'll never be taken seriously. So I was like, don't look to give them a break this early, even though they don't even allow you to practice that much. So I was upset and disappointed that coach was giving them a break this early. But then he said, but the players said, no, coach, we want to get the work in and we want to keep the pass on. Dude, I promise you, I was sitting there saying, why would you do this? It's too early for this. Right now, it's about putting your thumb down and make sure everybody knows we are about work, 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 because you're setting the culture. Now, it is hard and it takes time for the head coach to set a culture unless the team is taking it upon themselves to make sure that culture gets set. And that's what that did and what it showed me. I was disappointed in coach for giving them a break. And why are we here already? What are you talking about? This is not right. Don't do it. We just got in camp. We just played the first preseason game. But they need a break for it. You see what I mean? But as disappointed as I was that he said it, what he gave me, their response was what bounced me way past my disappointment. Or should I say equally high as the disappointment took me deep. Because if they get it in the locker room, then you don't have to hammer it in their damn heads. And I'm promising you, if they got that mindset and they see that documentary, something will resonate. Because that mindset is what you want to see throughout that documentary. That same one, we got to work mindset. Charles Haley brought it. Deion Sanders brought it. And we talking about from the highest level. That's all I'm saying. I want these guys to get. And then I want them to stack. Stack on this history, this great history of the Dallas Cowboys. And leave your mark by leaving your crown right at the top, saying, we won the last Super Bowl of this great organization. That's how you stack. And stack your crown on top right now. That's what I'm saying. Okay? This year, stack your crown. Right on top of this great Cowboy history. That's what I want you to get from the documentary. And that's what I'm getting from what Coach said, what the young men said when he wanted to give them some time off. Yeah, you should interview more people. You're so good at it, and I will. I am. I'm going to bring some guys on too for the documentary as we go through it, because it'll take care of our football fix here as we get through August to get us into September. And also, guys, I want you guys to. I'll do interviews. I want to do interviews, but I don't want to do interviews to destroy people. Like that's what goes on out here. Everybody wants to do interviews, find out what's horrible about the people, horrible, and then try to destroy them, try to stir stuff up. The big thing is always starting beef. I'm not trying to burn people, break people. I'm trying to build people. You know what I mean? Best I can, all I can. Just like people tried to build me through my journey. So in the interview I'm doing, I'm just trying to grab out that thing that made them do that thing that makes them them. to try to help you pull out that thing that will make you do your thing to reach your best you. That's all the time we have here. Next Tuesday, man, we'll be doing that thing. You know what I'm saying? We'll be having fun talking about the history of this game. Movie soon, hey. So where you getting me here? What are you guys giving me? You should do what you did with Dion. That was so cool. And let me tell you guys how much I appreciate that. Because talking about the interview with Dion and all that stuff. Oh, wait. Too. I want to tell you. Did y'all see that last little bit? Did y'all see that last little bit that we were messing around about? Because I didn't want to bring it in there. That last little bit, I know Gina put it out where Dion said, I want to just coach on that side. Coach on that side. See what it's like. You know, some fun stuff right there, man. You know, because you got to imagine we all have dreams. And me and my boy, we talk and he has dreams and everything. And that's what you call a little hanger he left out there for us. But yeah, appreciate it. And I will draw in more. But I want you guys to understand too, though, this was really starting about, I wanted just to have a place to chat. No agendas, no anything. Just a place to chat. Chat about some of the things that go on. Chat with my people. Chat about my journey. Hear about your journey, you know. I appreciate you guys showing up and spending some time with me every Tuesday. And starting next Tuesday, we'll jump into the whole history of that dynasty as we break down that documentary. Every night, we will be breaking down that documentary. And every night I'm trying to, at least a few of those nights, I will certainly I will have your guest here that was prominent in that documentary so we can talk about it. Feel like you're hanging with me in the living room. Thank you for giving us a chance to spend time with you. I appreciate you saying that Vietnamese style. I really do appreciate that. Because that means something to me too. That really means something to me. And I don't have a Rich Eisen or Chris Berman or Chris Myers, you know what I mean, or Chris Rose, all standing there narrating and saying, we got to get out of this when we want to say something else, or saying we can't talk about that because they don't allow us to. This is just raw. This is just real. And this is just us. And I thank you for that. Thank you for showing up for just us. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you next week when it's just us talking about that documentary. God bless my peeps. Have a great week.